Hello everyone, it's That Game Bro, and today I'm going to be yapping about COD games that never got released. Before I start, an honorable mention goes to Call of Duty Combined Forces, since there's not a lot of info out there on it, and it was more of an expansion to Call of Duty Finest Hour, which was released back all the way in 2004. Though the small piece of info that we do know is that the major reason the game didn't reach production is because of money and legal problems with EA and Activision. Which is quite the head-to-head battle between the greatest companies of all time. Now, onto the rest of the list. Call of Duty Devil's Brigade was planned to release on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and was developed by Underground Development. They made a ton of BMX games and the official X-Men game, along with a few other titles, until they were shut down by Activision in 2010. Devil's Brigade was planned to take place during World War II, and apparently was going to focus on the Italian part of the conflict. I think they already made a game like that. It's like the Sopranos Road to Respect or something. PS2, I don't know. I think they'd probably be the same thing. They were planning for this game to be in third person, and the main component of the game being to command your fellow soldiers to do various actions during missions. I'll put some screenshots on screen of the game, but they really don't show much. I especially love this picture with the AK-47, since I don't remember those being used in World War II, or used by Italian dudes. But hey, this game could have been pretty interesting to have in the series. Call of Duty Future Warfare, also known within the company as NX1, was developed by Neversoft, who is the team behind Extinction in Call of Duty Ghosts. So I already don't like them. They were a small team that eventually merged with Infinity Ward and worked on Future Warfare in 2011 and 2012, and would have most likely been released in 2013. This game had a trademark registered by Activision for the Future Warfare game title back in 2010, but it was abandoned in 2014. A solid amount of work was put into this game, as there are several missions started for the game, all of which taking place around 40 years into the future, and there were also two factions created, those being the Eastern Coalition, who had a logo made and everything, as well as the National Lunar Energy Agency. To be fair, you can't give them much credit for creating these. I mean, these are bland-ass names for the good and bad guys, but whatever. Some of the campaign missions that were created for the game were Border, Visiting Hours, Into the Fire, and Moonbase Assault, among a few others out there. There is footage out and about for the Moonbase Assault mission, and it looks dope as hell, so I'll link it in the description if you want to see it. There were also 4 different multiplayer maps developed and completed before the game would be shut down. I'll link below the video that shows off what was created for all of the multiplayer maps. This game seems like it would have been awesome in my opinion, because a Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 type of game set in the future sounds pretty cool, since I think a game set in this period but having the old school feel like the earlier games would make it stand out way more like Black Ops 2 did, rather than like Infinite Warfare, because that shit was ass. Call of Duty Vietnam, also known as Call of Duty Fog of War, that's definitely the better title, was developed by Sledgehammer Games in around 2010 and had 8 months of work put into it, and had about 15 playable minutes of the game. At this point, Activision told them to begin helping Infinity Ward with Modern Warfare 3, so they had to drop the title. In an October 2011 interview with Sledgehammer co-founder Glenn Schofield, he said the game was most likely canceled, and I think we know the verdict of the game now, so woo! Fog of War was planned to be a third-person action-adventure game. Schofield had said in an interview after the game's cancellation that they were aiming for a Dead Space feel within the game, and that it would have been a whole new take on war for Call of Duty, which that literally sounds so badass and would have been something really cool to see. So, of course, it got canceled by Activision. The most unique COD game that has been canceled has to go to Call of Duty Roman Wars. It was in development in 2008 and was being worked on by Vicarious Visions, who is only known for working on this game and another canceled title called Call of Duty Tactics, which would have been a strategy game. Later, this team would be sucked into the hellhole of Blizzard Entertainment. Roman Wars was going to be a top-down beat-em-up style game, which kind of gives the vibe of Dead Ops Arcade, but like imagine playing Advanced Warfare or something, and then you just pop into a beat-em-up game in the Roman War. Like, that would be sick. The saddest part of this game is that it really was never considered by the important people at Activision, just like how I wasn't considered when applying to college. The only further information out there is that you, the player, would be a part of the 10th Legion, the elite soldiers of Julius Caesar, and we know at some point you were going to ride an elephant, but some business guy decided you can't. So I think we should go medieval on their asses. Out of everything here, there is one game that really stands out as something a little different, and that being a standalone Call of Duty Zombies game. I think most people would absolutely love this, unless you're some sort of multiplayer loser. Just kidding, I love you guys. Just picture something like Black Ops 3 Zombies, but if they had concentrated and massive development team on it. I mean, I can't even imagine how insane it would be. And it really could have been something like Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered, where they had a game and then another one attached to it. But, like, I guess that's technically every game with a zombies mode. You could just pretend zombies is a different game, but you know what I mean, right? We know that this game existed at one point because of a Raven Software developer's LinkedIn profile, which stated he worked on an untitled COD Zombies live service game from 2011 to 2012. Unfortunately, that's kind of it on information on this game, but I don't think I'll ever get over the fact that we could have had a zombies-only game. Like, my personal COD wish list has two things. At the top is Black Ops 1 Remastered, and right below it is a solid standalone zombies game. Though to help everyone cope, I do have some game recommendations that are similar to these canceled COD games. If you want something like Devil's Brigade, I'd say try out Asanzo. I've played a few rounds of it, and it's pretty solid. It's pretty similar to Hell Let Loose, if you've ever played that before, but it kind of focuses on the Italian part of the World War II conflict. For Future Warfare, you could play the games in the COD franchise, but if you want to do something really scary and play a non-COD game, you gotta play Titanfall 2, if you somehow haven't played it. I mean, the campaign is amazing, and there's definitely still diehard fans playing the multiplayer. To try and replace the sad gaping hole created by COD Fog of War, I would recommend Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. It's definitely nowhere close to being the gameplay that was described by Glenn Schofield, but it's still definitely a really fun COD-style type of Vietnam game. Now, for Roman Wars, I don't really know of a game that's top-down and beat-em-up style in like the Roman Wars, but if you're looking for a fun action game that takes place at some point in the far past, I'd recommend Chivalry 2. It's really solid. Now, it's almost impossible to find a game similar to how Call of Duty Zombies plays, but I know of one game I saw on TikTok like over a year ago, and it's Skier Ritual. I have no clue if I'm saying that right, but it has all the same zombies features like wall buys, the box, perks, all that kind of stuff, but it's got its like own twist, so it's pretty unique and fun. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Any of that helps the channel so much, and it is so appreciated. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.